Hello and welcome to my tutorial for To the One by Upper Room. Today I'll be breaking the song down into its three parts. I'll be showing you how to play the chorus, I'll be showing you how to play the verse, and I'll be showing you how to play the bridge. And the way I'm going to be breaking those three parts up is I'm going to show you the basic chord progression of each one, the specific chord inversions that Upper Room uses in their recording, and then I'm also going to be showing you the melody so that you can play the melody along with the chord progression. So, let's get started. Okay, so this song is in the key of F sharp, and basically throughout the song, the only four chords that we're going to be using are the standard CCM, root, 4th, 5th, and minor 6th. So the root will be F sharp, the 4th will be B major, the minor 6th will be E flat minor, and then the 5th will be C sharp major. Okay? And besides that, we're not just going to have a standard chord progression of, you have the chord, or like I have a triad here, in the left hand, and you just stick with F sharp in the left hand. This song is a little bit different in that the left hand and the bass for the left hand moves around in the original recording. So, like for instance, the first couple steps of the verse are you have an F sharp, and then you move from that F sharp in the left hand to an A sharp. Okay, so you're still within the F sharp chord structure, but you move the left hand. Okay, so we will be dealing with a little bit of that in the tutorial. Okay, so the first part I'll be teaching you is the basic chord progression for the verse. So the first chord is F sharp, and then you move from there to F sharp over A sharp, and then you move from there to B major, and then you move from there to E flat minor, then from there to C sharp, and from there to F sharp. Sorry, I forgot to mention. So you have the E sharp minor, E flat minor, and then you actually move to C sharp over an F. So again, you're still within the basic chord structure of C sharp, but you have an F. So you have E flat minor, C sharp over an F. So you have this F here on the left hand. And then you resolve to F sharp. Okay? So I'll play that through once for you, this basic pattern that repeats itself throughout the chorus. The only way that the chorus is not just this that I just showed you 4 times over is a little bit of a different part in measures 5 and 6, and I'll be showing you what that is. Okay, so one time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just that over and over again. But I just played measures 1 through 4 for you as a little preview. And now we get to measures 5 and 6, where it differs in that it starts up here, and the first chord of measure 5 is in E flat minor. Okay? So I'll play through it again, and then play the different part, and basically just play the whole verse through so that you guys can see what it sounds like. Okay? So we have. Okay, so the measures 5 and 6, they're going to be, so first you have an E flat minor, and then you move the left hand from E flat to B flat, okay? Or A sharp, as it fits into the scale of F sharp. So you have 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you move from that to B, 1, 2, C sharp with C sharp in the left hand, then F sharp. Okay, so the whole way through, I'll count it out for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the part that's different in the verse. So the entire verse through, I will play for you now and count along with the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there you can go either into the chorus or into the bridge. So that is the basic chord progression of the verse. And now we'll move on to the specific chord inversions that you're going to use for playing the keyboard on the verse. Okay, so the specific chord inversions for the verse are this first F sharp that you hit is you have F sharp in the left hand, and then in the right hand you have C sharp, then F sharp, then A sharp, and then you move from there to an F sharp over an A sharp. So you have A sharp in the left hand, then you have F sharp, A sharp, and then C sharp on top, okay? And then you move from that to the B major. So you have B in the left hand, and then in the right hand you have F sharp on the bottom, B in the middle, D sharp on top, okay? And so then from there you go to the E flat minor, and for that you have E flat in the left hand, and in the right hand you have B flat on the bottom, E flat in the middle, and then G flat on top. And then you move from there to C sharp with an F in the left hand. So you have F in the left hand, and then you have C sharp on the bottom, F in the middle, and then A sharp on top. And from there you go to the first inversion of F sharp that you had already, which is F in the left hand, C sharp on the bottom, F sharp in the middle, and then A sharp on top. So the first bit of the verse that repeats itself several times, like I told you guys, is so that's that. And then you're going to repeat that one more time in measures 3 and 4 before you get to measures 5 and 6, which are the ones that are a little bit different, like I showed you. So there are pickup beats actually played individually. I think I showed you that in the basic chord progression of it. I played it like it is anyway and just told you the basic chords. But you have a little bit of a single note pickup line sort of thing in the piano heading into measure 5. So the way that measure 5 sounds is picking up from measure 4 with pickup notes in there. You have repeat, you know, the pattern that I showed you earlier again for measures 7 and 8. So I'm going to show you the little bit of the melody thing that you do here in the pickup notes to measures 5, and then I'm also going to show you the chord inversions, obviously, for measures 5 and 6. So I'm going to be counting really slowly in 6/8 time, which the song is in, giving you the pickup notes from measure 4. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so again, it's 4 and 1, 2, and then you go to that. But okay, so the melody that you have is you have G sharp, then you hit F sharp, and then you hit the E flat minor chord. And the specific inversion for that chord is you have G flat on the bottom, B flat in the middle, and then E flat on top. And of course the E flat in the left hand. So again, that is F flat, G flat, F, E flat minor chord, okay? And then from there, you're gonna just move to an E flat minor chord with a B flat in the left hand, and the inversion for that is E flat on the bottom, then G flat in the middle, then B flat on top, and a B flat in the left hand. Okay, so again, from the very top, that is and then from there you hit the B major, so you have B in the left hand, and then the inversion in the right hand is B, then D sharp, then F sharp on top, and then you move from there to C sharp with a C sharp in the left hand, and the inversion in the right hand is C sharp, then F, then A sharp, and then we hit this same inversion that we've been hitting for a while in F sharp, which is we have F sharp in the left hand, and then we have C sharp on the bottom, F sharp in the middle, and then A sharp on top. So measures 5 and 6 played straight through are like this. And then you head into the same pattern that I showed you before. I did notice a little bit of a ditty that the piano throws in on the recording. I'm sure you don't have to hit this in your chording, but I mean, it sounds nice. So the person does this thing where they do kind of the same thing that they did with the pickup notes here before the chord. And what they do is, before heading into the F sharp that starts it all off, they hit F sharp, then G sharp. So like 3E and 4E and so like that. So if you want to throw that in at any point at all during your chording in the verse, you can do that. Okay. So I'll play it through once with the specific chord inversions, and I'll actually throw in a little ditty a couple times to show you that. Okay. So from the top. Forgot to mention, the last F sharp in the chorus on the recording is resolved to this inversion here. So you have A flat on the bottom, then C sharp in the middle, then F sharp on top. So you have this right here. Okay? So, that is the specific chord inversioning for the verse, okay? So now I'll go on and show you the melody of the verse. Okay, now I'll be showing you the exact melody for the verse, okay? So I'll play it through once for you guys so that you can hear what it sounds like. the melody. Now I'll be showing you the specific note order of it, what the melody actually is, and then I'll be playing through it once and counting it out so that you guys can get the timing of it. Okay, so the first three notes are just A sharp 3 times, and then you go to C sharp, then D sharp, then from there you go to F sharp 3 times, then G sharp, then A sharp, and then you do the same thing almost exactly over again, except one note difference at the end. So you hit A sharp 3 times, then C sharp, then D sharp, then F sharp 3 times, then G sharp, and then you go to the F sharp. Okay? So then the first few notes of this next part are the same thing as the chord progression uses, or the specific chord inversions that I showed you. It's F sharp, F natural, D sharp, okay, so, and then C sharp, then A sharp, then the next part is, in what I showed you before, it's F sharp 3 times, G sharp, A sharp, and then this is the thing that I showed you before where it's the exact same thing over but with F sharp at the end. So you have A sharp 3 times, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp 3 times, G sharp, F sharp. Okay? So that's the melody, and now I'll play through it slowly and count it out for you so that you can actually get the timing of it. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, missed that there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that is every part of the verse. Now let's move on to the chorus. Okay, so the chord progression for the chorus starts on B, and then it goes from there to F sharp, and then from there to C sharp, and then from there to E flat minor. Okay? And then it just does that exact same thing again. So, and then that's the chorus. The chorus is pretty short. Now, after the chorus, and I even forgot to mention this earlier about the verse, between the verse and any other part, you want to have a little bit of a cushion, because that otherwise you're going to have the words super close together. And so to add that cushion, you just do a couple measures of chording for the verse. So an intro to the song could just be. And then from there you go into the verse. So you want to add that between the chorus and the verse whenever you go from the chorus to the verse. So back to the chord progression of the chorus. So that's actually pretty much it. It's just what I showed you before twice over. So the entire chorus chord progression once through would be this. So then you head into the intro into the verse. So that's the chord progression, and now I'll show you the specific chord inversions. Okay, so the specific inversions for the chorus are as follows. You have the B major, so you have a B in the left hand, and then in the right hand you have B, then D sharp, then F sharp. Okay? Then after that, you have the F sharp chord, and the inversion for that is just F sharp in the left hand, and then you have A sharp, then C sharp, then F sharp. Okay, so like, yep. And then from there, you go to the C sharp chord, which has a C sharp in the left hand, and in the right hand, it goes C sharp, then F natural, and then A sharp. And then from there, you go to E flat minor, which is E flat on the bottom, G flat in the middle, then B flat on the top. And then you just repeat that once more, and that's your chorus. So. And then from there, you head straight into the chording for the verse, which isn't the verse itself, but you do the chording for the verse, and that gives a little bit of a buffer space between the verse and the chorus. So heading from the chorus into the verse might sound like I'll play the melody for the singing and then do chording for the verse to show you what the buffer space would look like. Into the verse. So that is the specific chord inversions for the chorus. Now I'll show you the melody. Okay, so here is the melody for the chorus. I'll play it through once so that you can hear what it sounds like. And the verse. So here is the order of the melody specifically. So you hit C sharp, and then you hit F sharp 7 times in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a little bit of a pause between the 6th and the 7th ones. And then you hit G sharp, then A sharp twice, then G sharp, then F sharp, then G sharp, then A sharp twice, then G sharp, and then you hit F sharp 8 times in a row, replacing the C sharp with an F sharp. Like if you followed this as a pattern, you would replace the C sharp that we played first with an F sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you head up to the G sharp, then the A sharp twice, then hit the G sharp, then F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, then it changes a little bit in that you hit D, then A sharp, then G sharp, and then you head into that chording that I told you about. So here is the melody counted out. Now I am going to be playing notes in between counting, so I'll do something like, well, I'll do exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So I won't be counting on every single note that I hit. But if I were to count like that, I would run out of oxygen because of how fast I would have to count. Okay? So you'll just have to, figure out how to play it, not having been given every single beat. Pretty much, if I hit a note, and I'm not counting on that note pretty much just falls exactly in the middle of a beat that I am counting, okay? So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So, that is the melody for the chorus. Now I'll show you the chord progression, inversion, and melody for the bridge. Okay, so now here is the bridge. Now I'll give you a little insider tip on the bridge. The chord progression for the bridge is actually the exact same chord progression as in the verse, except that it's offset just a little bit so that it has big pauses on the B and the E flat minor. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. In the verse, you go like... So that, you know, over and over again. But in the bridge, you do one of these things. Similarity, like you go in both the verse, you go, and in the bridge, you also go. But in the bridge, you immediately then go to. So keep that in mind. If you're having trouble getting the bridge, just look at it kind of that you've already learned how to do it. Now you're just kind of learning how to do it with it offset a little bit by a couple measures. So anyway, that being said, let's hop into the chord progression of the bridge. The chord progression of the bridge is you have a B major, sorry, not B minor, B major, then C sharp major, then E flat minor, then E flat minor, C sharp major with an F in the left hand, then F sharp major, and then F sharp major with an A sharp in the left hand, and then B, and then it loops. So the entire thing, if you were to just loop it over and over again, would sound like. So, that is the chord progression for the bridge. I'll do that once more, counting through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it loops. So now I'll move on to showing you the specific inversions for that chord progression. Okay, so these specific inversions, kind of like I said earlier, are they're very derivative of the verse, but they are changed a little bit in as far as like how far up you go and then you go down, versus in the verse you kind of kept going up until the end, and then in the beginning you went back down and went back up again, then you went back down and went back up again. But in the bridge, it's that you go all the way up and then you kind of go back down in the middle of the bridge, okay, or towards the end, but not quite there. So I'll show you what I mean. So the first inversion is this B major. So it's a B in the left hand, then F sharp on the bottom, B in the middle, and then D sharp on top for the right hand. So then you move to C sharp in the left hand, and A sharp, no, sorry, you have a G sharp, C sharp, then F natural, up in the right hand, and then you have a E flat minor. So this E flat in the left hand, you have in the right hand B flat, E flat, and G flat in that order. And then you have that again. And then you move up to a C sharp with an F in the left hand. And then you go up, sorry, I didn't tell you the inversion for the C sharp. You have F in the left hand, and then you have C sharp, then F, then A sharp, and then you go up to F sharp in the left hand, then on the bottom you have C sharp, in the middle F sharp, on top A sharp, and then from there you do another F sharp, but this is where you go down like you did in the verse. So then you have, so you're here, and then you jump down in the left hand from F sharp here to A sharp here, and you jump down from the right hand here to F sharp here. Okay, so you jump from this F sharp to this F sharp over an A sharp, and the inversion here is F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and then you go to B, and that's the same inversion I showed you before. F sharp, then B, then D sharp. So the whole thing through, again, looks like this. So it's that, over and over again. And just like any other, CCM bridge, you can repeat that as long as you want. So now I'll show you the melody for the bridge. Okay, so here is the melody to the bridge. I'll play it through once so you know how it sounds. Okay, so that's the melody of the bridge. Pretty simple, pretty repetitive. So here is the specific order of notes that you'll be hitting. So you'll first do a D sharp, then an F natural, then F sharp, then you'll hit F sharp twice more, then G sharp, then A sharp, then C sharp, then D sharp. And then you do the exact same thing over again, except that before you hit the first D sharp, you're going to play F sharp, F natural, D sharp, then you head into F natural, F sharp, then F twice, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp. So that little bit of a difference sounds like, instead of just, you do. Okay, so that is the melody for the bridge, and now I'll play it once through for you, counting, so that you have the timing of it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, sorry, I had a little bit of a couple mess ups in there, but you got the point. So, that is it. That is the entire song, To the One by Upper Room. This has been the video tutorial for To the One by Upper Room. I hope that you understood everything. Hope I could be a help to you and your playing. Thanks for watching and have a good day.